This is up-to-date video of my Suburban. Been building this for about 5-6 years now. This is how far it's become. We got a Dana 60 GM Kingpin under a Suburban V20 1988. Got DIY 4x crossover steering, high steer, and a PSC hydraulic ram, hydro assistance. DIY 4x, like I said, high steer crossover, PSC hydro assistance ram, DIY 4x, custom made hydro assistance clamp, DIY 4x spring plates, adjustable with 0 rates, 12-inch super lift leaves modified. I got shorts up and video, I believe, of me modifying these. These aren't factory. I did it on both sides. My leaf springs would shift and kick side to side when you flexed it out. So we put these on, and it definitely doesn't do it anymore, and it helps. Got DIY 4x 7.5-inch shackles. Helps it does flex. DIY 4x shackle mount. It's moved up on the frame. This is where it used to be. Right there. The other side isn't welded in yet. We have 12-inch brake lines on there. Nothing fancy. Drive shaft is the factory drive shaft with a Y2K 200 long slip stub on it and a spacer, whatever you want to call it, 35 or 1350 yoke on it, and a 1310 U-joint, which I gotta change. Gives me more enough slip back and forth, but I can get the Y2K 100 long stub, or slip, I should say, not long stub. Sorry for my confusion. To make that work, and I can reuse the conversion U-joint for that yoke. I really gotta rebuild this whole front axle. I just put it in there and painted it and cleaned it up. Still has the open carrier in it, 30 spline end stubs. I got 35 spline stubs in the house, Yukon brand for this axle. Probably gonna do an ARB air locker. We'll get into that. Traveler 12,000 pound winch. This gearbox is out of a K5 Blazer. It is drilled, and it has DIY 4x's hydro assistance cap on it. Go up in the engine. The top sector shaft joint is drilled out. We got fancy braided lines. That's a factory pump. This would be the West Texas mod with an LS cap on a factory pump. The back of the pump, the valve area is drilled out to 5/32 to get better flow out of it, and I have to use custom fittings to make that work, and I gotta literally get Teflon to seal that side up. Nothing special. 350 TBI, extensive porting on 191 heads, port matched. The crank is balanced 100%. GM's cranks normally didn't come factory balanced correctly, so it's an aftermarket crank you can get from GM Performance on it, and an Edelbrock TBI high-rise intake on it, and the TBI's factory. I didn't change it out. I didn't do anything to my, like I did other TBIs, but and it utilizes an Edelbrock air cleaner. See the frame right here, I gotta weld that in. This has got a little bit of egg shape to it. I gotta get a plate to weld that up to it, and I haven't done it yet. Nothing fancy shocks. These are DIY 4x crossover high steer links and everything, but the steering, the high steer arms are DIY 4x, the thickest arms you can get. It's got ballistic fab bronze bushings in it. They work very very well, I should say. Better than the plastic ones. Zero rate is in its factory location, and I'm gonna probably push it forward. The hydraulic lines are all custom made. This arm right here came from DIY 4x. That's pretty much that. I believe that's a first generation when they started making bumpers, off-road design bumper. It's very stout, I should say. This side we got my ARB air compressor, ARB twin. A guy that was a military guy, a pilot, convinced me to get one of these because he saved the day in the winter. This wheel right here, I knocked the eye rock off it and it deflated on me, and you couldn't get change anywhere for a gas station air compressor, and I drove it all the way to a gas station on a flat, and I couldn't get change to run air compressor, and I sent my wife to go get change at a different gas station, and that guy didn't want to give air or change for the air compressor to my wife. So the guy behind her, hey, I got an air compressor in my truck, and he showed up and he actually had the same exact air compressor, and it aired it up faster than the gas station air compressor. So that's how I ended up with that. Very nice piece to it. Got the big DIY 4x fender sticker. Sent as a gift to me from Kurt himself. Rear is a 14 bolt. 456 gears, front and back, I should say, because I didn't bring that up. Got a mini spool in it, a precision gear mini spool in it, and it works very well for what it's worth. I have still got to do some modifications to my brake lines. It's zero rate that's pushing the axle backward an inch. Off-road design shackle flip. I really don't care to talk about it, but it's a 4.5 with a super 6-inch shackle. Nothing fancy. These leaf springs, these 56s, these right here, the two, if you can see them, are actual 56s, and everything on the bottom is all 6-inch rough country fronts that I modified to make work on there, and it lifts the truck probably about 12 inches on the back, and I got 14 inches on the front for sure, because of the longer shackles. And the zero rate would make a 12-inch leaf pack 13 inches. It might actually be more, but there's a little bit of rake in it. You can't really notice it, but I notice it. There ain't nothing fancy about these tires. They're garbage. I only have them because I wanted the bead locks. Got them for $400 and came with the tires off a Truggy, K5 Truggy. But nothing fancy. Really got to change this. Probably a lot of people don't prefer to, because they're so worried about ground clearance. But I'm probably going to drop that down to about an inch. It's going to give me more of an angle, or less of an angle here, so it doesn't hit and rub. But they're turbo 400, completely built. Hughes clutches. I really don't want to go into detail explaining this. Hughes aftermarket clutches, 3500 stall. Everything on that 400's been overhauled, and I'm probably gonna go to a manual bell body in it, and it is shifted by Hurst Pro 2 slap shift. Got Flowtech headers, and they work very well. Other than this side on a square body for the truck headers is way too close to the shackle. I'm gonna be looking where I'm pointing my camera. But that's pretty much my Suburban. Up to date. The front leaf packs, like I said, I completely took them apart. People say that you can't get those 12-inch leaves to flex and ain't like the ride. Well, there's lots of different things you can do, and I made it so, because your factory shackle used to be on an angle like this, I made it so it has the correct angle like you should have. Like I said, it changed the leaf spring clamps. Those came off of 52s, I believe. 52 rears, the clamps did. And I welded the backs. The backs are welded to the leaf spring. They're welded across on both sides, and the rivets welded. The front is just the rivet welded on it. I didn't weld them hangers on. Kind of disappointing. The original owner, or either the original owner that owned this truck, or the kid I got it from, had them welded on for some reason. I don't understand why. But all that's going to get cut off, and I'm going to get DIY 4x B52 kit. And then it'll give me even more options for moving my axle forward. And I have more than enough drive shaft to make that work. But what else? Leaving something out. No, I think I pretty much covered it. Oh yeah, these hangers right here are not your factory hanger for the rear of a Suburban of the 80s. Those are actually off a 3/4 ton 77 truck frame, and that's part of how my lift works, is those hangers are bigger. And those are bolted and welded to the frame. That's pretty much it. It's barn door burb. I need to get new guts for that door. Can't even open it right now. She's sitting on an angle right now. Nothing fancy. She's got her dents. It's not a show truck by any means. Probably gonna go to way bigger tires. Manual valve body. This is gonna get this front Dana 60 is an 81 dually. Probably gonna get ARB air locker. I got the air system already ready to be ran. This right here these would be for your solenoids running the air. This is all the ARB fuse links for it. The switch is set up to where the rear air would be in the truck. It's got 3-core radiator in it. Probably upgrade to an aluminum one. And the way I got this set up with the bolts is for the winch and the ARB all together. Right. I probably want to go to a longer set of brake lines. I gotta have a custom set made. What else? I don't like when you turn the way this crossover high steer, the hydro assist, it tends to kick the ram up and down. I think I'm going to build some kind of bracket so it doesn't drop. Maybe a half truss on the front. So when it starts turning, the ram will actually sit in a cradle and it won't allow it to drop down the way it does. But that's pretty much it. This is up to date. There's nothing fancy about my interior. It's a blue dashboard and brown interior. Was a brown interior. I'm not far into the dash. It's going to get a full exo cage on this thing. And probably the center section of the inside of the truck will get a cage too. It's very, very heavy of a truck. And the engine, make sure I have my keys. This is my wireless remote controller for my winch. This is how you keep it from not getting wet. You just tuck it up in there, because it'll start arcing if you leave it plugged in on there. Engine will probably be changed out, and I'm not going to do an LS. Might either get a big block or a 377 stroker that pushes lots of RPMs. Not a 383. But that'd be the burb. Like, subscribe if you didn't. You can hit me with comments if you want. Don't hit me with negative comments, because you will literally hit the bed hammer. Hope you enjoyed it.